let's ground. You can sit any way that is comfortable for you. So if you're feeling your hips are overly challenged and sitting in cross-legged doesn't work for you, sit up on a blanket. I also, when I feel that way, I sit like this. Because sitting like this feels good in my body, and this is an internal rotation. It turns the thigh bones towards each other rather than out away from each other. You can also sit on a block like this. And it's worth doing, you know, every now and then changing how you sit. So sit any way that sounds interesting to you. Rest your hands somewhere on your lap or on your knees. Close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths, just arriving here inside of your body, inside of your skin. Slow everything down and begin to feel. Feel inside. And as you're breathing, feel what feels good about sitting and breathing, and take your breath in that direction. So is it just feeling your breath, or maybe expanding the ribs, or lengthening out the exhale? Try those out and you decide what you want to do. Open your eyes and we'll start with some wrist stretches. Take the hands out to the side, spread the hand bones wide. Inhale. Exhale, one finger at a time into a fist and roll the knuckles down. Relax your shoulders down. Soften your jaw, soften your neck. Just feel into the stretch. Turn your palms facing forward. Inhale. Exhale, thumb and fingers around the thumb. Light squeeze there. And just feel creating space here around the place where your thumb meets your wrist. Back to the first one. Inhale, spread open the bones of your hand. Exhale, one finger at a time into a fist. Roll the knuckles down. Turn your palms facing forward. Inhale. Exhale, thumb in, fingers around the thumb, light squeeze there. Send the hands out, opening up the wrists. Relax your shoulders and shoulder blades down. All right, let's move into a side bend. Put your left knee on top of the right. If you're not already seated like this, come to this position, and you can sit up on a blanket or a block to make this an accessible way to sit. You could also straighten the bottom leg. That's totally cool. Take your left hand out. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale into a side bend, stretching open your right ribs and letting your head hang. Find a comfortable place for your neck to relax and unwind a little bit. Rotate your right rib cage open and slightly back as you lengthen and bring the left ribs forward. Spread open the bones of your feet. You'll feel your sit bones rooting into the earth, left to right. You might feel a little lighter on the right, root there. And reaching the top arm back, let's take a couple breaths in neck release, especially if this feels good to you. You can always take more time in neck release. Find a spot, a way for your head to hang, maybe looking down, maybe hanging over to the side. And inhale, coming up, pick your heavy head up, and we'll go to the second side. Take the right knee, bring it on top of the left. And then take the right hand out. Reach your left arm up and exhale into your side bend. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. And find a good spot for your head to be. You can spread open the bones of your feet and feel your left hip root it down more. Take your top arm and reach it into neck release. And just letting your head cascade over to the side, really feel into the top of the shoulder and the side of the neck, maybe all the way to the jaw. Relaxing bottom jaw away from top jaw. And also, you can always move your head. It doesn't have to be static. And then ease your way upright. Pick your heavy head up. And then let's come forward to all fours. We'll start with a basic move called Scapular Support, with your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Keep the arms straight. Just let your chest descend towards the mat. The arms do not bend. And then straighten. Send the shoulder blades away from each other, round the upper back, just the upper back. So we're not doing full cat-cow, just the shoulder blades gliding together and apart. And then move into your cat and cow. And then wagging the tail, you're going to take your right foot, lift the toes up so you're on the kneecap, and follow the foot. Take the foot out to the right, look over your right shoulder, send your right shoulder towards your right hip, and then go the other way. And again, watch the foot, and then feel the left shoulder moving towards left hip. And do that a few times. As you're moving the foot, you're really feeling the isolation of that right sit bone and all the muscles there. And then go to the other side. Lift the left foot, take it out, and track the foot as you go side to side. All right, from here, tuck the right toes under and reach back through the heel. Just bounce a little bit forward and back. You might want to stay static to get a little more stretch through the Achilles if that feels good. Achilles in the bottom of the foot. Or if bouncing forward and back feels good, do that. And then we'll come into a side plank. Take your right foot to the outside. You can keep the shin pointing in whatever direction it wants. If it wants to naturally turn out, let it. And come onto the outer edge of your right foot and spread open the collarbones, opening up the chest. Press into the outer edge of your right foot, reach through the right arm, sweeping that right arm up and over by your ear, and feel the extension of your whole side body. Take a breath into that. And then exhale the hand down and come back around to all fours. Left foot goes back, tuck the toes, and you're going to bounce forward and back. Coming into your side plank, take your left foot, put the outside edge of the left foot down on the mat, and twist open. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, reach up, spread across the chest and the collarbones, and reach your top arm up and over by your ear. And then feel the extension of that side of your body. And exhale the hand all the way down. Step back to all fours and come into downward facing dog. Let's start just by walking it out. Bend one knee deeply and then the other. And feel the space in your shoulder blades. So you're not bringing the shoulder blades towards each other, you're spreading them away from each other, kind of wrapping them away from the spine. So you have space in your shoulders in your downward facing dog. And as you walk it out, feel the reach into your hamstring, Achilles, all the way to the bottom of each of your feet. And then come down to all fours, grab your blocks. Put your blocks at the front of your mat. Your hands on the blocks. And bring your right foot forward between the blocks. All right. So your hands are on the blocks just to help throughout this variation. I do recommend using 2 blocks or a stack of books if you don't have blocks. Tuck the toes under, reach back through the back leg, lower your hips towards the earth. Just take a feeling breath here. Create a long spine, sending your chest forward, lengthening through the crown and reaching back through the back heel. Now take a twist, open to the right, spread across chest and collarbones. And then exhale, bring the hand back down. And your back knee is going to bend towards the earth and straighten. Try to not move your hip, just bending the knee. And then bend the knee, let it hover above the floor and pick your front heel up. So I don't know if you can see that. My front heel is up. That's why we're using blocks. And then from there, keeping that front heel up, you're going to let your back knee descend. It's still hovering above the mat. Feel for opening up the front of your left hip flexor, letting your sit bones move forward. The hips kind of sink towards that front heel. You can have the blocks at any height you need. And then release, and let's just straighten it out, straighten the front leg. Keep both feet parallel, they're facing the same direction. And you're just sending your hips up and back. All right, bring the back knee down, change sides. Step the left foot forward. Keep your hands on the blocks, lengthen your spine, reach back through the back heel, lengthen chest forward, crown of the head forward. Draw the lower belly in to support the lower back. Draw your arm bones back. Feel if you can turn on the strength of your legs and your core so much that you get a little lighter through your hands. Just experiment there. And then bend and straighten the back knee. Then bend the back knee, let it hover just above the mat. Pick the front heel up, let your hips sink, open your chest. Picking up the front heel is obviously an option. If it wasn't obvious, I want to make sure it is. It's optional. It just adds to the stretch, and then you can also open up the bottom of that foot a little bit deeper, letting your hips sink. And then straighten and fold over front leg. Bring the knee down, step back, keep the blocks there, just move the blocks a little closer together. We'll do downward facing dog with the hands on the blocks. This is for tighter shoulders and it feels good for everybody. So I like to put the heel of my hand at the edge of the block so my hand doesn't slip and then come up into downward dog. And hopefully this feels like an interesting and much lighter downward dog on your shoulders. And then from here, wrapping the shoulders and micro bend in the elbows. You can bend your knees a little bit and lift your sit bones way up. The knees are just barely bent. And you're lifting and winging your sit bones up, sticking your tail up as high up into the air as you can. Keep the hips where they are and then lower your heels any amount. Keeping the hips where they are, straightening the legs and lowering the heels. Keep lifting the sit bones up. So I'm probably winging way into my back bend, yeah. So I need to go here. Finish. Come down. Put your hands on one block. So I turned this block horizontal and the other block is pointing straight ahead. And you're going to step your right foot forward and put the right foot on a block. So the right foot is now higher. Okay. So your hands are just as high as that front foot, but if you want to bring your hands down and go a little bit lower, do that. It's up to you and your body. Keep your foot on that block, tuck the back toes under, straighten the back leg. Stay here, lower your hips down, reach your chest forward, and reach back through your back leg, back heel. And then bring the back knee down and we'll take a twist. Twist open to the right. And release. Step back. Second block. Left foot onto the block. All of this is optional. It's just different ways to experience your body in this pose. And you can put the hands on the floor or not, or keep them on the block. Straighten the back leg. Stay here, lengthen your chest forward, reach back through the back heel. Back knee down, twist open. And bring the hand down. Help yourself off of that block. You can use the blocks or not for another downward facing dog. In between, come into your downward dog. Up to you how you do it. And bend your knees, come down, child's pose. Sink your hips back to your heels. All right, walk your hands in. Let's turn around and lay down on the back for abs. Let's start with elbow to knee. And I'll add some variations that might be interesting to this. Clasp your hands behind your head, bring your knees right over your hips and press your lower back down. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up, press, top rim of sacrum down, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten your right leg out away from you. Put your right hand, cup the first finger and the thumb around the top of that thigh, and you're tractioning your thigh out. Keep pressing through the ball of the big toe. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat, rest your head into your hands. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right, straighten your left leg, and put the left hand, thumb and index finger around the top of the thigh, and press away, pull the lower belly down towards the spine. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten the right leg. Reach out through that right thigh, and your hand is helping traction if that feels good. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right, straighten the left leg. Take left hand onto top of left thigh. And pull the belly down. Let's do that one more time on each side. Inhaling, pressing lower back down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten the right leg. Back to center, curl tailbone. Release, hug your knees into your chest. Let your head come down, rock a little bit side to side. Twisted root abdominals, take your left thigh, wrap it around the right. Squeeze the legs together. If you can do the foot behind the calf, you do that if it adds anything at all. If it doesn't, just keep the legs squeezing. Clasp your hands behind your head. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up. Press lower back down into the mat. Squeeze your sit bones, squeeze your inner thighs, scoop your knees up, pull the belly down. Inhale, rest your head into your hands. Press top rim of sacrum into the mat. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze sit bones, squeeze inner thighs, send the knees up, pull the belly down. Inhale, breathe into your lower back. Exhale, scoop the tailbone, squeeze the legs together, squeeze your sit bones, send the knees up, pull the belly down, hollowing out the belly, feel the spaciousness in your lower back. Inhale, rest head into the hands. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, squeeze the sit bone, squeeze the inner thighs, send the knees up, and pull the belly down. And release, unwind that. Take the right thigh, wrap it around the left. Hands are clasped behind your head. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up. Press, top rim of sacrum down. Squeeze the legs together. Exhale, scoop the tailbone. Squeezing the legs, send the knees up, pull the belly down. Rest head into your hands. Breathe that lower back into the mat. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze the legs together, knees up, pull the belly down. Do 4 more on your own. Release, unwind the legs, hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. And then keep hugging your right knee into your chest. Stretch your left leg away from you along the mat. And take your right leg as straight up towards the ceiling as it will go. Find to bend the knee as needed. You're going to hold onto the leg. Inhale here and exhale. Bring your nose to your knee, pulling the belly down. If you want, you can stretch out through your left leg if that feels good. Keep the lower back pressing into the mat and keep hugging legs in. You can flex here, pushing through the heels and point. Find to have your head down, find to hold the head with one hand. And then release. Bend the knee, hug the right knee into your chest and take it across into a twist. Oops. Finally have people joining the class. Oh man. Hi, you guys. Welcome. I started early. I didn't know you were coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, glad you're here.
Oh, when did you start?
Come onto your back. We're doing little splits.
Okay, good. We're here.
Yeah, glad you're here. Hi, Slim. Left leg, bringing it in. Those of you that just joined us, back off of the hamstring stretch a little bit because you just started. So you're going to hug your knee into your chest. And come into a twist, hug the knee into your chest and twist left knee across, twisting open to the left. All right, we're gonna do one more round of abs, turning on the adductor muscles. Grab your block or a pillow or something that you can squeeze between your thighs. And you're gonna give it a good squeeze. And take your legs as straight up as they will go, if that feels good, and you can keep your lower back down, or bend the knees, or put the feet on the floor or on a wall. Clasp your hands behind your head. Send your legs up. You can flex the feet or push up through the balls of the feet. You can change that as we go, really bringing more feeling into the backs of the legs, and changing it up as you go can really help you get a different feeling moving, different energy. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up, press, lower back down, squeeze the block. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, send both elbows to the left thigh, pull the lower belly down towards spine. Inhale, come back to center, press lower back into the mat, squeeze the block. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, send both elbows to the right thigh, pull the lower belly down. Inhale, come back to center, breathe into lower back, squeeze the block. Exhale, curl the tailbone up. Let's go straight up the middle, pull the belly down. Inhale, rest your head into your hands, keep pressing lower back, squeeze the block. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, send both elbows to the left thigh, pull the lower belly down. Inhale, come back to center, press lower back into the mat, squeeze the block. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, send both elbows to the right thigh, pull the lower belly down. Straight up the center, inhale, squeeze block. Exhale, curl tailbone, send both elbows straight up, pull the lower belly down. Do 2 more rounds on your own. Squeezing the block, lengthening the tailbone, exhaling as you twist, pull the belly down and feel that you're keeping the whole lower back into the mat. Last round, if you haven't changed your foot pattern, like flexing the feet, go for it. When you finish, release your head down. We're going to come into a baby bridge, squeezing whatever you got between your thighs. If you have a block and you were squeezing it the skinny way, you might want to make it a little bit wider. And you never want to lift up really high up here. It's too early in the practice. We haven't really warmed up the lower back, but we do want to stretch the hip flexors and turn on the backs of the legs even more. So turning on your hamstrings, feel your hamstrings rise up to meet the thigh bone. You can lift and spread your toes to really feel your whole foot pressing down into the earth. Then you can put your toes back down, squeeze the block, lengthen your tailbone towards the backs of knees, and breathe all the way up to your chest and your heart. Slow, steady breaths. All right, coming all the way down. Move your prop out of the way. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll over to one side, and you'll come all the way up to stand, and we'll move through some sun salutations. You can step up to the front of your mat and have your feet together or apart, up to you. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees and fold. Bring your right foot back, put it down on the mat, and inhale, reach your arms up. Hands down, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down, turn on your legs, feel your inner leg line like magnetized, squeezing together as you lower down. And then keep that long, steady reach back through your toes and squeezing legs together as you come into low cobra. Exhale, down and back to downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, put the left knee down, and inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down, step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, come all the way up, soft knees, reach up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Lunge, left knee back and down to the mat. Inhale, reach up. Hands down. Step back to plank. Exhale, lower. You can always put your knees down first, and we'll come down for low cobra. Low cobra is great for lengthening out the lower back. So really feel how you're using your hands to traction your spine into length, and then push pubic bone more into the mat, tops of feet press down even more. Exhale, ease your way down and all the way back to downward facing dog. Take your left foot, bring it forward, right knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Take your right foot back. Keep the knee up, and you'll come into lunge here. Keep strongly reaching back. Draw lower belly in to support the sacrum and the lower back, and reach the arms up. Hands down. Step back to plank. Exhale, lower. Seal the tops of the feet into the mat, all 10 toes, tops of your feet, pressing in and pull your chest forward. Exhale, press back. Bring the right foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down, step up to the front of your mat. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll add on to that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Take the left foot back. Keep the left hand down. Come into a twist here, opening up to the right. And then exhale, bring the right hand down, put the back knee down. Inhale, reach arms up. And exhale into a twist here. Take the left elbow to the right thigh. Twist your rib cage around. So you're really not twisting the hips. Lower the right hip down and move it back as your left hip comes forward. And open chest and collarbones. Release your hands down. Step back to plank. Lower all the way down. Low cobra, inhale. Exhale down. And back to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Keep the right hand down. Twist open to the left. Draw your shoulders away from the ears. Spread the chest and the collarbones. Keep that left hip lower. And lift the right hip up a little bit. Tends to dip down. All right, bring the hand down, put the back knee down. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, right elbow to the left thigh. Feel the press down of your front foot and the back shin into earth. Spread your rib cage and your chest and use your breath to spiral around. Release the hands down. Step up to the front of your mat. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We're going to continue to add on to that. So from here, you're going to grab your block or your whatever you can squeeze between your thighs. And if you don't have one, just imagine your like resistance between your legs, and you're going to put the block on this way so that it's the skinny way. Your hands on your lower back, on your sacrum. Soften your knees. Tilt your tail towards the earth and then straighten the legs again. Send your elbows towards each other and lift your chest up as you squeeze the legs together. So you're not leaning back, it's straight up. You're lengthening your spine. And this is good for the lower back. And you don't have to do more than this, just staying here and tractioning out of your lumbar spine. And then release that, bend the knees, and put your hands down on the mat. And then take your right knee back and put it down. We're going into lunge here. So you'll walk your right hand forward and out to the side, and you're gonna lounge your right ribs towards the right hand. So we're going into a side stretch here, and the top of your right thigh is still facing the earth. So what spirals around is the right ribs. And use this hand to cup the front of the knee and bring that leg in. So the knee isn't, in this variation, it's not drawing out. It's not that it's not good to do that, it's just a different variation. Release, lift your hips up, step back, come down all the way onto your belly. And you can bring your hands in closer. We'll do Cobra unless you love regular Cobra. So I automatically adjusted my legs, so I'm just gonna tell you what I just did. Lift your left leg up, rotate the top of the thigh slightly inward, and then put the leg back down. Lift the right leg, rotate it internally so the top of the thigh is turning in towards your midline a little bit. And that really frees up your sacrum. I'm feeling really stuck in my sacrum. That's why I naturally just did that to free up my sacrum. Press tops of feet into the mat, pull your chest forward. Exhale, come all the way down and back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, put the knee down and come into lounge lunge. Walk the left hand forward and out and lounge your left ribs towards the left hand. Top of the thigh is still facing the earth, so you get a little bit more length and space on that side. And take your right hand and bring it around, cup it around the knee. Release, step up to the front of your mat. Grab whatever you're squeezing between your legs, squeeze it, come up, hands on the lower back, soften the knees, lengthen tail, lift your chest, open the heart. Release. We're gonna do one more round of lunges. Put your hands down, take your left knee back, and we're going into arrow lunge. So for this one, you look back and make sure your back foot is pointing straight back, and you're gonna come up onto the top of the foot, lifting your back knee up. And then lengthening your chest and heart forward. Feel for opening up the front of the quad. And you might feel that you can move on. You can put your hands on your hips. You can come up. I stay down now. I prefer being down. I get the most out of it. It's a good hip and quad opener. And then bring the knee down. Step back. And come all the way down. Cobra, inhale, draw your chest forward and up. And exhale, come on down. And back to downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Put your right knee down. Take a look at that foot behind you. Make sure it's pointing straight back. And you're going to lift the knee up. And let your hips continue to descend. All right, bring the knee down. Step up to the front of your mat and come all the way up. Let's do one more standing back bend. So your hands go on your lower back, supporting the lower back. And if you want, you can bring your hands up to the base of your skull. You can lengthen upward, pressing down through your heels and holding on right at the base of your spine. But it's not a big back bend. This is more about lengthening your spine and lifting the chest. It should feel really good. Anything that you do in your practice should always feel good. Okay, let's come into twisting chair. Your feet and your knees together or hip distance apart. Feel what feels best to you. Sit your hips back. Send your weight back to the heels. Inhale the arms by your ears. And then exhale into a twist. Your left elbow to the right thigh. You can do fists with the bottom hand, flat hand on top of it, or maybe you want to open your arms wide. Release. Fold forward. Let everything hang out. Maybe you move your feet to hip distance apart just so you have a wider base and just hang out, hang forward. Move any way that feels good. Deepen your breath, regroup, reconnect. Then let's go to the second side. Set up again, reset. Maybe feet come back together, knees together. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Release, fold forward, check it out. Let's step back into plank. And coming through cobra or adding in upward facing dog. And back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward into warrior two. Let's do warrior two with some shoulder shrugs. Relax your arms in front of your thighs. Take a deep inhale into your upper back. Hold that breath. Take your shoulders up, straight back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and draw down. Inhale into your upper back. Exhale, move the middle border of the shoulder blades together and draw down. Now bend your elbows. Inhale into upper back. Exhale, send the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and the elbow tips towards each other and draw down. Inhale into your upper back. Hold the breath, take the shoulders up, shoulders straight back, squeeze the shoulder blades together and draw down. Inhale into upper back. Exhale, move the middle border of the shoulder blades together and draw down. Bend elbows, inhale into upper back. Exhale, send the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and the elbow tips towards each other, squeeze together and draw down. Reach your arms out, take a deep inhale here. Exhale, bring the right forearm onto the thigh, take your left arm up and over by your ear And extend and lengthen through your side body. Keep rotating your chest open, draw shoulders down. Slow, steady breath. From here, straighten your front leg and come into triangle pose. So you're really going to press strongly into the ball of the right foot and open up your chest and your collarbones. Your hand on your shin or on a block, up to you. And release. Put the hands down. Step back to plank. Slowly come down. Upward dog or cobra. Step your left foot forward into warrior two. All right. Nice deep bend. Let's do kite hawk. So opening up the shoulders in a different way. Take your arms out to the sides. Deep bend into the front knee. Keep that. Inhale. Open up your chest. Spread the collarbones. Lifting the heart up. And exhale. Rotating the arm bones. Spread your shoulder blades away from each other. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Gentle bow forward of your chest. Twice more. Release, take a breath in warrior two, and then ride your breath into extended warrior, Parsvakonasana. So you're not resting all of your weight on that thigh. Lift up and away from it. Take the other arm up and over by your ear and open chest and collarbone. That strong reach through your back leg. Take the top arm, let it lift you up and come into triangle pose. From here, put your hands down, come down to all fours, and let's go into dolphin pose. So some different variations of dolphin that you can do. Dolphin with one leg up. You could do dolphin with both feet down, they can stay down, or dolphin strut. And I will talk you into dolphin strut. It is a one-arm dolphin. So if you have any shoulder challenges, really listen into your shoulders. It took me a very long time to get the one-arm dolphins. You have to really lift out of your shoulder joints. So press the earth away, wrap the shoulder blades, and press forward and down from the elbow to the hand.
creating a lot of space and levity, and then turning on your chest muscles, the pecs. So those rotator cuff muscles also engage. The shoulders are moving up your back away from your ears. You could take one leg up, or if you're doing the strut, it's like a strut, like an architectural support. Take your left forearm, press down, your right arm frees up, and you're gonna hold on to the back of your right leg, the right calf, and press back through that leg. As you hold on to it, that's that architectural kind of strut that you're creating. And this really opens up the front body, the shoulder that's supporting you, as well as the shoulder that's creating the strut gets a stretch. And then your hamstrings are wildly stretching as your heels come down.
Second side, put the right forearm down, lift out of that shoulder, stabilize it, shoulder blade up away from the ear, wrapping that shoulder blade. Send your left heel down, stretching open the back of the left leg. Release, come down. Hopefully your upper body feels really alive from that whole sequence. Let's make the way back into downward facing dog and come into warrior one. Step your right foot forward between your hands and bring your elbows into eagle pose. So your left elbow goes on top of the right. Relax the shoulders down. Deepen the bend in the front knee. Press into the outer edge of the back foot. Bring that outer left hip down, forward. You're going to move your elbows and your arms forward and up away from your face. So you keep the integrity of your spine. So there's a lift in your chest. You're not letting your head wing all the way back. But the spine is arcing. And feel if you can employ the same thing you did, like the squeezing of the inner thighs together, the press down into the front foot, the reach back into the back leg to lift and lengthen the whole spine. And then release out of that. Inhale, reach up. We're going into twisting warrior. And if you are able to interlock, you'll do twisting warrior interlock. But find it, just pick a variation that works for you, always do that. So hands together in prayer. And if you don't know this one, it looks like this. Or bind. Release, put your hands down, put your back knee down. You might pad the back knee. We're going into quad stretch, lunge, bringing the heel into the butt. So please pad. And please support yourself for this. If you don't feel good in the lunge, do this standing. Release. You make your way back to downward facing dog any way that works for you. Step your left foot forward, warrior one with eagle arms. Exhale the right elbow on top of the left. Deepen the bend in the front knee, reach back through the outer edge of the back foot. You're gonna move your arms forward and up. Release out of that inhale, reach up. Exhale your right elbow to the left thigh. And in the twist, if you're binding, you can always create more space in a bind. You find out where you can breathe. So a bind or a twist, you can breathe into your back body. You can breathe in a way that creates more length along your spine. Release. Pad your knee. Release. Lay down on your belly. And we'll do boat Shalabhasama. So your arms by your side, palms facing up. Lift the feet, the hands, and the heart. And as you do this, you don't lift so high. It's more about lengthening. Reach back through your toes. You want to create length and strength in the lower back. So how do you do that? You reach back through the toes and the fingertips, forward through the chest, and hook your pubic bone more to the earth. And then come on down. And let's take a moment here, just forehead to the earth. Take a breath into your back. And press back into downward facing dog. So lunge back bend, step your right foot forward, keep the back knee up. And you micro bend your back knee. That should feel good. Your hands on your sacrum, much like we did in standing back bend. So drawing the lower belly in and up, really zipping the lower belly up and lengthening your spine, your sacrum, elbows towards each other. Lift your chest. Telescoping your rib cage upward as you open up the heart. Ease your way out of that. Put your back knee on some padding. And if all these lunges are challenging, I recommend taking 2 blocks and making a block tower like this. So you can support your sit bone. You're not sitting down like it's a stool. It's still a lunge, legs are active. You're just supporting with the blocks. I used to do that a lot. That's how I healed my knee injury, which is pretty amazing. So you're holding the foot with both hands for this variation, and you're going to kick back to open up the chest and the heart. Lean your chest and your rib cage forward. Release. We're going to stand up and finish this side with dancer pose. So standing on your right leg, take a hold of your left foot from the inside, and you'll take that leg straight back. It doesn't wing out to the side. So you keep the hips and the knee in alignment, and open chest. You can bring the palm forward, open palm, chin mudra, the first finger and the thumb together, gesture of offering and connection, union. And release. Let's go right to the second side. So you'll step your left foot forward, bend the back knee, your hands on your hips, on your sacrum. Bend the back knee, send your elbows towards each other, lengthening your lower back, lift the chest. Bring the knee down. Pad the knee. Hold onto the foot with both hands. Kick back through the shin, opening up your chest and your heart. Release, stand, dancer pose, Natarajasana on the second side. Right hand to right foot. All right, from there, release, take a breath. You're gonna make your way onto your back. Actually, no, scratch that. We're not gonna go to the back just yet. I realized I wanted to do another round of cobras. If you have a block or something to squeeze, put that thing between your thighs and give it a good squeeze. So similar to what we did standing, only laying on your belly. And we're gonna do Cobra Push-Ups here. So I will talk you through. You can also watch if you want, the first one or two. Your hands somewhere between right underneath your shoulders and 10 inches in front. So somewhere in between there, find a good spot. Your hands are gonna pull back and lift you up. As you lift the spine, you're squeezing the block or whatever you got between your thighs. Squeeze there and then slowly lower down. This is great healing for the lower back. If you ever have pain in your lower back, this is the way to go. Squeeze the block, pull your chest forward and up, Exhale, coming down. Let's do that a couple more times. So you're inhaling, lengthening on the inhale, pulling your hands back to open up the chest, and lengthening on the way down. Squeezing the block the whole time. And when you finish, just lay flat, resting forehead on your arms. Take a breath into your back. All right, so move what you got out of your way and turn around onto your back. So you have lots of options. If you want to use a block and slide it underneath your sacrum and bridge, take a more restorative route, you do that. If you want, you can come along with me all the way to wheel or stay in bridge and everything in between, right? So just tracking, what's going to serve you today, what's a part of your practice. If you already have wheel as a part of your practice, go for it. If not, making sure that your lower back is really properly supported. And I will talk you in, go slow. So from bridge, you could stay right here. And in this bridge, you are going to walk your shoulders underneath you, clasp the hands and press down, and then open up your chest. Great pose. You can stay here for several breaths. You can come out of it and come back in. Wheel, folks, you're going to put your hands by your shoulders. If you have tighter shoulders, you could set up near a wall and put blocks at the wall. I will show you that in a moment. So we're going to lift up, exhaling, straighten the arms, push down. Look at your index fingers. You want to line them up so they are parallel. And you never want to come into this and adjust your feet. Your feet should stay steady as you come up, okay? You can adjust your feet once you're up, but you really don't want your foundation to shift much. You really just tracking where you feel supported through the hands, through the feet, and letting your breath deepen as you're here. So whatever pose you've chosen, it's a big back bend. Breathe into it, feeling the whole front of your body opening. Back bends can bring up a lot. It's a lot of energy, a lot of movement, and we've just opened up the front body and the chest and the heart. So it can feel invigorating. It can also just bring up any kind of emotion that maybe needs to move. All right, so off you go into bridge, or you can follow along with me. I'm going to show you the setup at a wall for this. I don't love it, so we'll see if I come up fully, but this is kind of what it looks like. So you've got the blocks there. I'm going to put my head here. If your wall happens to have a little ledge, then it's great to have the blocks on a diagonal, but I don't have a ledge, so my blocks are going to be horizontal. All right, so you come here. This could also be good for a wrist person because it really takes the wrist out of it. So head in between the blocks, and you're going to exhale, come all the way up. You could also set up at the wall, because being at the wall is fun, because then you can walk up the wall like I just did. And then once you've walked up the wall that you can reach back for the wall and walk down. Those are advanced variations. I recommend, if you've never done that before, probably not doing it without somebody helping you, spotting you today. because it can be spooky. So you got another 5 to 10 breaths with whatever you've chosen to play with. Finish up and just laying down on your back if you can feel your wrists. If you were just on them, circle them out. And then gently hugging your knees into your chest. But take your time with that. It's a very big forward fold after a very big back bend. They are helpful to do together, and you want to be really careful about doing that extreme. So we're going to wind down now before we do some bigger forward folds. To release the lower back, it's better to go easy. So make your way up to standing, and we'll do a few standing poses to release the lower back before we do big forward folds. So standing on your mat, separate your feet, and then come into warrior two on your right side. Reach your arms out and come into reverse warrior. So for my body, I prefer to put my hand here to support my lower back, especially after back bending. So you might do that as well. And use your hand to really traction out the lower back and support it. And press into the outer edge of your back foot. And then lengthen more through the whole right side. And feel into your lower back. As you lengthen the lower back here, this is a hip opener, a side bend, which also creates space for the back. And then coming into extended side angle. You can revisit what we did before, forearm on the thigh, or come down a little deeper. Really press into the outer edge of your back foot. And then put your hands down. We're going to do head to ankle prep. This is also great for releasing the lower back. We end up doing hip openers to release the lower back, and you can really feel why. And then turning the left toes. So all 10 toes are pointing the same direction, and you're going to walk. I started talking the left and right sides incorrectly. Hopefully you're holding onto your left leg. All right, to release out of that, walk your hands forward, bend the knees, hands to the hips, keep the knees bent, and come on up. Let's go into warrior two on the other side. I forgot that I'm mirroring you, so now we're doing the left leg. Inhale the arms out, exhale into reverse. Coming up, you can revisit forearm on the thigh or come down a little deeper. Do what feels good to your body. Coming into head to ankle prep. And then releasing out of that, walk your hands to the other leg and hold on to it. Release and walk your hands forward, bend the knees, turn the heels in, the toes out, and put your hands right there on the edge of your hip, top of the thigh, and press straight down. This should feel like a good back release. All right. Come on down. Have a seat. Okay. Legs out in front of you. Let's start with a twist. Bring your right foot in, right hand behind you. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale, twisting. Bring the arm to the opposite thigh and take your twist. Relax your shoulders down. Open up your chest. Release. Send the knee out to the side and we'll fold forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. And release. Come on up. Change sides. Left foot, left hand behind you, left foot in. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale into your twist. Release. Knee out to the side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. And come on up. Stack your left knee on top of your right. So if this is hard to sit like this, put a blanket underneath your seat. You could also straighten the bottom leg. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take the right elbow on top. You can stay right here, breathing into your back. And you could also fold forward if there's room to move. You can use a block, and maybe the elbows come onto the block. If you're folded forward, release the arms first and then come up. Change the cross of the legs, bringing the right knee on top. And you'll take your left elbow on top. Relax your shoulders down. Lift your elbows up to shoulder height. And you can exhale, fold. All right, release. You're gonna come up. Wow. Let's open the legs wide. We'll finish with a forward fold this way. So legs wide, Upavishta Konasana, knees and toes pointed up towards the ceiling. And any amount that you can walk your hands forward, you do. Fine to stay seated back here. As long as your sacrum is straight up and down, you can hinge forward from the hips. You could also be seated on a blanket or a block. You can also bend the knees and come forward if that feels good. All right, ease your way out of that. Help the legs together. And you'll lay down on your back and hug your knees into your chest. And you get to go into a twist of your choice. It could be both knees going over or one knee at a time going over. That's entirely up to you. And you could also wrap the legs in eagle. And then you would eventually come to rest. And you want to take anywhere from a 7 to 10 minute rest.